Every 2017 hit song ranked. Why? Because I have nothing better to do. Let's go. Cluttered, piercing, obnoxious, incompetent, and just all around horribly constructed. Completely broken. The absolute worst middle school dance rap has to offer. Yes, worse than that one. Explaining my thoughts on this song would be beating a dead horse at this point. Ow. Meat-headed and stupid to a degree that would make Lil Pump blush. How many synonyms are there for the word dull? A Migos song with a choppy aesthetic and awkward flow kinda misses the entire point of a Migos song. There are so many cliches used in this song, it makes me feel dead inside. Easily the worst song from any 1D member after the group's departure. A colossal misfire. Stylistically, artistically, reputationally, even in chart longevity, which is truly rare for Swift. Dumb lyrics, chaotic pitch-shifted atmosphere, and a super annoying drop. A song that literally only has one note pretty much just fails on principle alone. The most boring and lackluster song on this list. Say what you want about his newer stuff, at least it has some personality. This is structured blander than beige wallpaper. Generic and colorless to the point of nearly sounding musically tone-deaf. Future's verse is also completely out of place. Jolty, commercialized to the point of soullessness, and seems to woefully mistake volume for power, particularly on the hook. Lame, tacky, dull, bootleg John Mayer background noise that can't even do that right because once you go deeper in, the lyrics enter TMI territory and the enunciation becomes unbearable. One thing that would truly surprise me is a good single being released off a soundtrack to a movie about BDSM. I was not surprised. Sounds pretty nice, but has insufferably pretentious lyrics that completely contradict the point. Sounds absolutely beautiful with the great performances, moving strings, and very effective chord progression. But like... This sounds like an air conditioner. Achingly simple, forced, and a waste of talent. Does anyone even remember this? It only got popular because of a Super Bowl commercial after all. Tries way too hard to be edgy and is deeply drenched in sludgy trap effects. Country on the Hot 100 had a much better year in 2017 than the last two, both in quality and quantity. That being said, this is easily the worst of the bunch. Underwhelming. Super overrated. I like Drum just as much as the next guy, but this is just off-puttingly weightless and mismatched. I'll stick with Cash Machine or Misunderstood. Soulless and forgettable. When the best part of your song is a Bieber hook that barely even tries, you have a problem. I could almost get behind this song in a mimetic type of way if it wasn't completely toneless and so incompetently structured. A blatant ripoff of No Problem by Chance the Rapper. Points for having a good message, but it's still nothing I can't get out of an average anti-bullying school orientation. White noise. More white noise. Even more white noise. The way Miley says the word Malibu really gets on my nerves. Otherwise, it's okay. I'll take it over most of her other stuff. Absolutely ridiculous. Way too stilted and awkward for its own good, but it's got enough charm to be passable. Solid melody, good performance, awesome bridge. This could have been a good song had the vocal filtering not sounded like absolute garbage. Also, the writing feels incredibly rushed. I don't really know what to say about this one. It's alright, but that voice crack is just the worst. It's okay. Somehow both overrated and overhated. Forgettable but pleasant country fodder. Could have been a lot worse. Honestly, I don't get the hate. Yeah, it's nothing spectacular, but it's got some decent energy, and the pitch-shifted vocal effect on the hook never really bothered me. Would be extremely boring, but Pink does elevate it quite a bit. Still nothing special though. A dead meme that somehow aged gracefully. This is exactly the kind of thing that a pissed off character from a mediocre Netflix teen drama would make to get back at his girlfriend for cheating on him while watching Law & Order at 3 a.m. Why don't I hate this again? Una canción decente que se superó como loca. Would be higher if not for the choppy and generally unpleasant aesthetic of the drop. Pretty decent, albeit standard trap song. A nice energetic combo between electropop and country. Though Keith Urban and Carrie Underwood's places should be switched within the narrative. It may be a bit too overdramatic, but it's got some swell and charisma behind it, and I'll take it over Treat You Better any day of the week. Surprisingly solid. I respect it much more than I enjoy it. Childish Gambino is capable of much better, and that goes for outside his music career too. One of Adele's worst singles to date, but it's still Adele. Cheesy, but still very heartfelt and well produced. Also, the guitar solo is awesome. This song is lit. I'll see myself out. Not even close to the best song on the album, but still a very respectable soft rock ballad. A song made by a former Nickelodeon star about walking funny after sex that somehow didn't turn out horrible. A nice, relaxing country love song that's perfect for listening to on a quiet drive. SZA and Travis Scott have a lot of chemistry, and the warm and fuzzy instrumental creates a layered atmosphere that I can really appreciate for its distinctive solid layering. However, it's just not very compelling as a final product and a bit too sticky and melodically stagnant for its own good. Completely tasteless, but weird, bouncy, and spontaneous enough for me to look past that, and on top of that, every performer brings their A game here. Hook is cool, and I like the creativity that went into making the beat all moist and liquidy in correlation to the title. Still nowhere near their best. Quirky, minimal, smooth, and overall admirable, but it just doesn't have enough to offer to be higher, sadly. A blissful little folktronica song about young love. Here's to hoping Shawn Mendes sets the bar even higher. Kendrick's worst song on the year-end chart. He's the king for a reason. The Maria Maria sample can admittedly be a bit jarring at first, but it sounds pretty cool if you just give it a chance, and the chemistry and variety the two singers share, as well as the bass line, do help quite a bit too. This is super overrated, and Live in the Moment would have been a much better single, but the horn-influenced melody still has punch, and I gotta respect that falsetto.
You get the bag and fumble it, I get the bag and masturbate it.
An average Bruno Mars song with a phenomenal bridge. Kygo's relatively straightforward and melodically optimistic brand of EDM complements Selena's vocal tone well, and the Vocaloid drop actually works this time around because the wonky tempo is placed around the vocals instead of the other way around. It's a bit of a one-trick pony, and Kodak's verse is inexcusable, but A Boogie's dramatically inflectional tone of voice still makes the song, and the melody is absolutely fantastic. Could use some more tact in its portrayal of a mentally unstable character, but still builds enough stakes and atmosphere to maintain my interest. Plus, unlike 1-800, the projected tone actually matches the tragic content. What can I say, it's a grower. A uniquely elegant and classy ballad that can still get visceral when it wants to. We could use more variety on the charts like this. Self-explanatory. The tropical trap influence is neat, and Sway Lee's vocal performance is majestic and fruitful in a way that's hard to match. My only complaint would be that the mixing can occasionally be unbalanced at times, particularly on the chorus. Soothing, organic, and actually kinda clever. It's not very complex, but its subtle knack for soothing makes up for it, and Drake hasn't sounded this melodic and emotionally invested since Take Care. Yeah, it butchers the M83 sample, but it still has a similarly transcendent feel, albeit not nearly as strong a one. And Andrew Taggart, of all people, actually has a good vocal performance here. This would be like 10 slots higher if the production didn't sound so fake. Very well constructed, sharply written, vocally expressive, and bitingly realistic and focused in its portrayal of bitterness, luscious behavior, and giving into temptation in a way I never expected Charlie Puth to pull off. Also, that bass line is on point. As much as I love The Weeknd's grimmer side, I can definitely appreciate this change of pace. It serves as a nice breath of fresh air with its much lighter tone. Nostalgic, uplifting, and beautifully written. A beyond meaningful statement in pop culture. Also has the most powerful vocal performance of the year. The vibes, dude.
Congratulations.
The perfect summer jam that I can get behind for so many reasons. Mysterious, cloudy, angelic, immensely textured, and just really fun. I've listened to this like 100 times and I'm still not sick of it. That's pretty impressive. Dark, dreary, gritty, experimental, swaggerous, versatile, ominous, and intimidating. Everything I could want in a trap song. Basically pop perfection. Subtle, eerie, thought-provoking, reflective, and self-aware of one's audience, as well as their own influence. That's truly a rarity in mainstream pop culture, all of which came from the soundtrack to an edgy DC movie. Believe it or not my favorite song off Damn.